This is chapter number 3, water resources. Wherever we are going to find out the water, especially we will talk about the Indian region, the resources of Indian region, water resources. So it starts with a conversation between a boy and a girl. The boy is saying, the girl, have you seen in the television the floods in Odisha? And in Odisha, these floods have created destruction. The girl says, yes, I did. See, the water is so important for us. We cannot live without the water, but still, it's so devastating. The girl is saying that my father has said that the water is used in so many places, and that is why the importance of water, springs, lakes, ponds, oases, and all the rivers where the civilization developed. 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water. If you see from the space, our Earth is a blue planet because of 3/4. 3/4 means 75% of the Earth is covered with water. And from where did we get this fresh water? Because very small portion we have as fresh water. And this fresh water we achieve from or obtain from surface runoff and groundwater, and this is recharged also. So there is a hydrological cycle, there is a water cycle, and water is a renewable resource. But the question will arise that if 3/4 of the globe is covered with water, or it has water, water is a renewable resource, that is, it is going to come again and again, it is not going to finish at all. Why is the regions and various countries, they are suffering from water scarcity? And the prediction is by 2025, nearly 2 billion people will live in absolute water scarcity. So water covers nearly 3/4 of the Earth's surface, that is around 75% is water. 96.5% of the total water on Earth is in oceans. Let me tell you here. See, all this is water. 96.5, if I take the integer, 96.5, that is 97% of the total water on Earth is in oceans. So it is saline, we cannot drink it. We have fresh water, that can be used in drinking, is around 2.5%, and this 2.5% we can say as an integer as 3%. And then this 3% again, this 3%, if I say this 3% is 100%, then in 100%, 68.7% of this 3% is ice cap and glaciers, that is in the form of snow, ice. And 30% is in the form of groundwater. Around the precise number that you need to understand is 30%. 30% is under the ground. So we have only surface water, which again we can drink. So we started with 3% and we came to know that only 0.3% of this 3% is what we can drink. Then again in this 0.3%, 2% is in river, 87% is in lake, and then swamps, it is 11%. So India receives 4%, that is, if 100% is for whole globe, 4% is for this Indian region. India receives only 4% of the world's rainfall, and we are ranked 133 in terms of water availability per person in a year. What means if you take a person, how much water did he get? We are on the 133rd position. So let me revise it. 96.5% of total water is in ocean, 2.5% is only fresh water, and in this 2.5%, 70% are in the form of glaciers, ice sheets in Antarctica and Greenland and the mountainous region. And then less than 30% is stored underground, that is groundwater. India receives 4% of the total global precipitation, that is rain and different forms of the precipitation, you can say. it can be snow also, and it ranks 133rd in terms of the water availability if you take 1% per annum. The total renewable water resource of India is estimated to be 1897 square kilometer per year. 1897 square kilometer per year. So by 2025, it has been assumed or predicted that most of the countries will have water scarcity. So why we are talking about water scarcity? What is the reason of water scarcity in India? So reasons for water scarcity in India is, first of all, low rainfall. That means the rainfall in some areas, the rain is around 200 plus centimeter, but somewhere it is less than 10 centimeter per annum. The unequal distribution of water resources, that means in some places you get huge waters, some places there is no water at all. Increasing demands because of the population. So population is increasing, see, population is increasing, and then the demand of water will increase, or is increasing. Then because we are developing economy, we are a developing country, so industrialization is necessary, and because of this, industrial places, industries also use a great amount of water. And then the increased requirement of irrigation, because we are increasing the area of agriculture. So when we want to do the agriculture, especially for those crops which are beneficial for the public and beneficial as a cash crop, then we need exceedingly high amount of water. Increasing urbanization. Now urbanization, that is, people have started living in the urban areas, they have different lifestyles. Now everyone has AC, air conditioner, everyone has all the possibilities where they can employ water. And bad quality of water due to discharge of industrial waste and chemicals. That means we do have water here. A person can see the water, but he cannot drink it. Why? Because these industries has sent the effluent or the result bad water filled with poisonous chemicals into this water body. So these are all the reasons. I'll show you some pictures. Here is an example of how important water is. There was a huge rainfall, 180 millimeter rainfall over just one day, and then overnight rain it was. Water is everywhere, but we cannot drink it. So this small kid is filling up water just to feed, or for any other purpose, to drink it for its family. Here, after the earthquake, a woman in this hostile condition, she is also wandering for water. Here people are in line since morning just to get a little bit of water so that they can just eat. Bathing, etc. is far from their reach, just to eat and drink, So water scarcity, we just talked about water scarcity. There are various regions. That regions and reasons why this water scarcity is there. The three things which we can highlight is the overexploitation. That is, we have water resources, but we are overexploiting it. We are excessively using it, and there is a distribution which is unequal among the social groups. So these are the points. According to Falcon Mark, he is a Swedish expert. So according to him, water stress occurs when the water availability is less than 1000 cubic meter. Less than 1000 cubic meter per person per day. So if this number or the availability is less than this number, then we will say that there is water scarcity. So the question arises again that when the fresh water can be obtained, that is, this is the process of water cycle, that these glaciers, and we have rain also, precipitation, the way rain comes here, it again get evaporated, there is transpiration also, and then it condenses again, go back to the same cycle. So water can be easily, in this way naturally be obtained. And surface runoff and groundwater is from where we can obtain the fresh water. But why are the areas, there are certain areas, and most of the areas which we talk about today, they are water scarce. And this is because of the growing population. When the population increasing, there is a great demand of water, and there is an unequal access also. Because when we have a large population, that means the domestic use water will be used more, and we have to produce more food for this population. For that we need the higher food grain production, we need water resources, we are over exploiting these water resources. We will have to irrigate more, especially in the dry season agriculture. So we are for you can say for the population, growing in population, we have to create or make the food available. For that we need more water. And if you see that for this in normal Punjab and these region, and most of these you can say plain region also, for getting water supply for their fields, the farmers have done what? This is what. So the farmers have actually, you have seen in the televisions also, that they have actually, this television advertisement show that they have their own wells and tube wells for increasing the production of the crop. Now when this kind of thing is this is very good for production, no doubt, but when this kind of thing, tube well, is being you can say implemented, the water is coming from the ground, which is our water level decreases. So this is the groundwater, from there water is taken, and then when the water is taken, the ground level water, which is actually a fresh water abundant resource, this gets depleted, and this gets depleted, and if every one of them starts doing this, you can understand the water will deplete to a level from where we cannot get the water. And after the independence, there is a lot of industrialization, you can say intensive industrialization and urbanization also. And when all these industries and MNCs, multinational companies, they use water, they employ water, and they run on electricity, and this electricity is produced again by water. Please understand, they use water and over exploit water, that is they want this fresh water, then they use electricity to run them, and this electricity again is coming from the water, that is hydroelectric power. In India today, hydroelectric power contributes approximately 22% of the total electricity being produced. So see, these are different we need to industrialize, we need to go ahead, but the water consumption you see here, it's too much. They need fresh water, and they need electricity also to run, and this electricity again come from water. And apart from that, we have population, and this population is mainly either the rural people are going to urban areas, or the urban population is ever increasing, and because of this we have the increased pressure on the water, that is water requirement, the power requirement. If you see the colonies, people have made different colonies, samitiyas and committees, and these committees or these area of certain houses, they have their own wells, or they dig up, or they have their groundwater pumping systems. So they are over exploiting the water at their region. So this is again depleting the water level, and it is scarce for the normal population now. So what we have seen up till now is a quantitative aspects. We talked about the numbers like this 22%, etc. So now let us come to one more aspect of this, that the water is available, the water is seen, but it is not clean. Water is seen, but it is not clean. That means the water, which is what we have done, it is bad quality of water. So all the water, whether it is coming from, or the water content, or the land, or wherever it is, the water coming out from the domestic and industrial waste, the polluted water, it contains chemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, which are used in agriculture. So this is now hazardous for human use. So we can see the water, but we cannot drink it, we cannot employ it, we cannot use it, because now it is unfit for drinking. This is one more aspect of this industrialization and growing economy. Indian rivers, most of them, they are they are called quite toxic. Ganga, Yamuna, the main rivers we have, they are impure. They are impure. So this is the reason why this is happening, because of the population growth, because of the agriculture modernization, because of the urbanization, and because of the industrialization. So now it becomes very important for us to conserve and manage water resources, because we need to safeguard ourselves, we need to safeguard our health, we need to ensure the food security also. So everything, for us, for our kids, degradation of our natural ecosystem is going on. We need to prevent it. And this can only be done when we stop over exploitation and mismanagement of water resources. Because as we saw in these examples all here, that we are over exploiting the resources and there is no management. There is no management. So we will be, sooner or later, we will be facing the ecological crisis for us, for our kids, for the flora and fauna, everything. For that, especially after the independence, we have multi-purpose river projects and integrated water resource management. So we need now a proper management of water. How do we do it? How do we conserve water? How do we manage water? The same question arises again. So now we have already seen in the previous past, we have seen in archaeological examples, we have seen in the historical records, that we were having very high quality, sophisticated hydraulic structures like the dams built of stone rubble, reservoirs or lakes, the embankments and the canals for irrigation. So this was already there. But in modern India, we are trying to just, you can say, enhance it, elaborate it by building dams on the river basins. So I'll just take you to the ancient India, some examples. You will understand that these things are happening from long back. In the 1st century BC, this Sringaverapura near Allahabad, it has quite a sophisticated state-of-the-art water harvesting system channeling the flood water of the river Ganga. In the reign of regime of Chandragupta Maurya, dams, lakes and irrigation systems were quite exclusively, extensively built. We have also found the evidence of irrigation at Kalinga, at Nagarjuna Konda, Bennur and Kolhapur. If you come to Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, 11th century, one of the largest artificial lake has been built. In the 14th century, the tank of Hauz Khas, Delhi, was constructed by Iltutmish for supply water to the Siri Fort area. So this is what we are talking about today, the dams. This is an example of a dam. This is a Hirakund dam. So now today we are discussing about dams. So the dams are used for conserving and managing water. So what exactly a dam is? Dam is not just a physical structure. This is not just a dam. So there is a natural flow of water. Now we create a dam. Okay, this structure we create. Now this water stops here. So there is a kind of jheel or a lake being formed. And here we have gates. So water, according to the content here, is being released. So water is being released. So there we have turbines. And these turbines, they rotate and we have laws of physics. It creates the electricity. So electricity is generated from here. Now this area, I'll just talk about what all we can do here. So this is not just creating electricity or just one purpose. It's a multi-purpose river projects. Whatever we are doing, these are multi-purpose projects. So the dams, they are helping us to conserve and manage water. So previously, traditionally, these dams were made to impound rivers and rainwater through this, where we can have a proper management so that we can have some water to irrigate the agriculture fields. But not only for irrigation today. Previously, these examples we saw, they were done for the irrigation purposes. These all examples we saw were done for the irrigation purposes, but not now. Irrigation is just one of the purpose. Today, dams are built not just for irrigation, but for electricity generation, supply of domestic and industrial uses, water, and then flood control, recreation activity, fun activity, inland navigation, means you can say boating here, and fish breeding here. So again, I'm just taking you once again to this dam. What are the multi-purpose agenda of making a dam? It's electricity generation, it's irrigation, it's domestic and industrial use, flood control, recreation and inland navigation, and also fish breeding. So there are so many things which are going on for if you make a one project. For example, the Satluj Byas river basin, the Bhakra Nangal project water is being used both for hydel power production, also for irrigation. If you come to Hirakund project on the Mahanadi river, it integrates conservation of water with the flood control also. Flood control also. A dam, as I just said, that this is a barrier, a dam, but it is not just a structure. So it is stopping the flow water, or it is restricting the flow water, obstructing and directing or retarding the flow. So there is a reservoir here, lake, or you can say impoundment here. So dam is referring to the reservoir. It is not the structure, it is the reservoir. The water here is the dam, and it depends on, because we have gates here, so water can be because of it may rain, it may be flooding. So according to the situation, the gates may be open depending upon the situation, right? So now these dams, they are of different heights, different way or ideas, or with different intentions they are being made. For that, we have timber dams, embankment dams. Based on the structure and material, the dams can be classified as timber dams, embankment dams, masonry dams. So on the basis of structure and material, these are kind of dam. And if you take the height, if you see, different heights are there. So on the basis of the height, the dams again can be classified into major dams, large dams, or low dams, medium height dams, high dams. So low dams, medium height dams, and high dams. So these are the three categories of the height, or referring to the categorization with respect to height. So multi-purpose projects which are launched after independence, it was basically integrated with water resources management approach, and this will give rise to the nation development and progress. Even what happened in colonial past, it will overcome that. So Jawaharlal Nehru, our first prime minister, he proclaimed proudly that the dams are nothing but the temples of modern India. And the reason why he said that these dams will integrate development of agriculture and village economy along with the industrialization rapidly and the growth of urban economy. So these are certain dams which I am showing. I'll tell you what they are. First of all, let me just summarize what we have seen. That there are these multi-purpose river valley projects, and these are those river valley projects that serve multiple processes, not just one. So irrigation, hydroelectric power generation, drinking water supply, everything they do. So these dams are built across rivers. These are big reservoirs that store the river and rainwater, that is used for generating the hydroelectricity also, and for irrigation purpose also. There are major multi-purpose projects of India. First is this one, which is the Bhakra Nangal project on Satluj river. Then we have this one, which is Hirakund project on river Mahanadi. Then we have this one, which is Damodar Valley project on Damodar river. And this one is the Narmada Valley project on Narmada river. So I'll take you to all these places in the next discussion, and also how we can conserve water using the rain water harvesting techniques. Till then, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.